Playoff football has arrived for the Jacksonville Jaguars, not only winning their division, but also clinching that first round bye. We are here in the divisional round, facing a divisional rival for the third time this season. The Indianapolis Colts stand in our path to a Super Bowl victory. The first time these teams met this year, it was a close game. Indy took it 30-24. Both Richardson and Polk threw for 2 touchdowns, but for Polk, this was early in his career. He wasn't in the same form, and he only hit 41% of his throws. In the second matchup, Polk and the offense showed up. 41 points would outlast the 38 scored by the Indianapolis Colts. And this time, Polk put on a show. 4 touchdowns for him and 83% complete. Richardson 76% with 2 touchdowns. The defense just failed to show up for both parties. 524 yards for us, 418 for them. So headed into this matchup, we knew we needed the defense to show up big, and we're going to rely on the D-line to get the job done. We need them to shed their blocks, get in the face of Richardson. If they hand it off to Taylor, bring him down quickly. We'll get +5 block shedding for this game. Additionally, we're going to get some massive boost. As end of the season arrived, news started to be spread around the league. Hey, Coach Boston knows what he's talking about. The team took care of business, matched what they wanted to do, which was get sacks, force turnovers, and on top of that, they picked up the amount of wins that we were looking for. With that, we're seeing massive boost in morale as well as XP that are just going to raise this team's overalls. And with all that success, even Brian Thomas Jr., who was being a bit of a diva, he stated that he might have been too much of a diva. He likes where the team is, but he still wants a greater production in the future. But the future does not start today, as he will be out with a hip pointer injury. Good news is we already talked to Gabe Davis, and he looks to step up this postseason, increase that catching rating, and potentially lead us, at least today. In other injury news, Jack Conklin returns and will be slotted back into the starting lineup at right guard. And over on the defensive front, Junior Alford also returns from his more long-term injury, but we have some dilemma. There's extremely good block shedding and power moves here with Alford, especially with the morale boost right now. But the rookie in Rakeem Griffey has been dominating for weeks on end. He has some pretty good ratings himself. I think we need to see as much of a rotation between those two as possible, because both need to see the field. And speaking of field, if you want to see these playoffs come out in far more regularity than just on Wednesdays, get this video 50 likes within the first 24 hours, and if the team wins, we will have the second round of the playoffs tomorrow. But before we talk too much about the future, we've got a playoff game to win, and it will be at home versus our rival. Divisional round underway. As the Colts set back to return, it will be our defense up first, with a pretty decent return starting at the 27. Will be where Anthony Richardson and the Colt offense hit the field. He threw for a lot of yards this year, over 4,000, but only 21 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. We want to tack on some more as Walker gets the pressure forced into Hines Allen. That ball does hit the turf safely, but a clear statement coming from Coach Boston. We want that pressure, and we're going with the blitz here early. Colts do shake things up. Bunch go to the right-hand side. They're looking to get to the outside. Great flow. Aluakin slows down Jonathan Taylor. Devin Lloyd helps to clean it up. And we've got a 3rd and 9 here at the 28. Jaguars trying to get that 3 and out. Will be play action. Under pressure, and the sack arrives. Junior Alford, welcome back from injury. Hines Allen, good to have you here as well. And at the tail end of that, did look like Richardson had a bit of a limp. That'll be something to keep an eye on today. The Jaguars offense take the field starting at the 38. And it's a power look here with the fullback in the backfield. It's going to be down the middle, ETN picking up 4. In games past, this has been a difficult team to run on. We are finally fully healthy up front, a power bunch. This is an offensive line we did not have intact for any of the Colts games. As Polk looks to scramble, he's sliding down with the first down. There was a lot of question around this rookie quarterback, especially early on in the season, but he has taken off, playing at a 92 overall right now. Perfect time for the playoffs. Throwing to the right-hand side, he finds Jordan Addison, who picks up 8. Now, despite Thomas being out, word from Coach Boston is that there won't be any real changes to the receiving core. Addison will play in the slot today. ETN looking to get outside, close to the line to gain, but flag is down. And it's no stranger of a call for the Jaguars, holding on Aquanu. Makes it 2nd and 10, then they're back to the 50. As it looks like play action here, trying to bounce to the outside, throwing, and it's going to be picked off. 2 receivers in the area, but the DB gets the best of Polk, Quincy Hitchens. He's picked off a couple passes from Polk in the past. So for both sides, defenses show up big. A turnover for the Colts, the 3 and out from the Jaguars. 1st and 10. Again, they bring that blitz. But this time, Richardson, he finds his target downfield in downs. It was tight coverage there from Ringo. Unfortunately, just wasn't able to get a hand on that ball. Colts down to the 36 as an awkward miss there from Walker below. The ball's on the ground. Jaguars are on top of it. We will have to double check this play. If it stands, it's a turnover for the Jaguars defense. Jonathan Taylor coughing the ball up. But it looks like on expedited review, his knee was down. So the ball right back to the Colts then at the 36. As they throw quickly back to downs, he's touched down with about a gain of 2. Looks like they'll credit the tackle, Terrence Yancey, a fantastic rookie here for the Jaguars with a 3rd and 7. Richardson, he jukes out Walker. He's got space to run. Ringo chops him down to the 5. A gain of 28 and an injured Jaguar down on the field right now. Hines Allen is going to have to make his way out of this game. That could be a massive miss for them. Ellis will check in over on the left-hand side here as it's a base package look as they throw, almost picked off by Campbell. Terrific coverage, but that's a pick we really could have used. 2nd and goal. Richardson will drop under center. Still looking to throw this ball, though bounces to the outside, and this time he will finish the drive. Colts take the lead thanks to the turnover from Quincy Hitchens, picking off Jeff Polk. Outside of that one play, the Jaguars were looking pretty solid, so gonna have to recoup here, tie this game up this drive as they start at the 30. It's ETN with space. Good burst to the outside. He's tracked down by number 22, Simmons. But a good pop there. Play 1 takes them up to the 46. With 2 tight ends to the left-hand side now, to note, you'll see Brenton Strange out there. Dawson Knox did get a bit shaken up in that first drive. Looking downfield, it's Jordan Addison with the catch down to the 6. What a throw from Polk over the top of Kenny Moore. An absolutely beautiful ball. And if you even try to question those feet, take a look at the toe drag from Jordan Addison. 1st and goal, Jaguars. Down at the 6, they're trying to respond from this scramble touchdown from Richardson. It's a heavy set as they go ETN, who gets stocked up at the 5. DeForest Buckner, he's been a menace down the middle here for the Colts the last handful of seasons. We're needing a handful more yards here to get ourselves into the end zone. Throwing, there is Gabe Davis, tying this game up with the touchdown, 7-7. A great drive in response for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now with about 2 minutes still to go here in the first quarter. Also 2 carries, 2 yards for Jonathan Taylor. We haven't seen him much involved in this one, as there's a great catch, first down. Michael Pittman Jr. in congestion, he holds on. Now we do have an injury update here. Ellis still out there. That's because we will not see Hines Allen return, as here's Pittman Jr. again. Terrence Yancey, he gets shaken out of his shoes. A quick answer by the Colts, a 2-play Pittman drive regains them the lead here 14-7. And after some early defensive plays, we might be back on our way to a shootout here. Darian Jones he slipped, left Pittman on an island. Offense once again needed to answer, and they start with another strong run from Travis Etienne. The previous 2 seasons, he was this team's heart and soul. He's taken an assist role this year, but he's doing a great job with it. Spread look here for Polk, as he will throw. He finds Gabe Davis, first down to the 42. If we are to miss Thomas for any bit longer, Gabe Davis, he's played great this year. We're going to rely on him. Play action, congestion, bump coverage downfield, no penalty called on it. Polk will throw out of the sack. And that stops the clock. 7 seconds here in the first quarter. Hard count. This will be a free play for the Jags. Getting that ball out. Javon Baker, though, not able to bring it down. Would have been close to the 5. But we will take the encroachment. So with what should be the final play then of a action-packed first quarter, it's 2nd and 5 at the 37. Pull there from Conklin. Nets 2 yards, and that will send us to the break. Colts currently hold the lead 14-7. A couple big plays from their offense really is the difference in this one. But as we look to get the second quarter underway, it's 3rd and 3. We are plus side, looking to answer back here. It looks like Polk is making a couple changes out there. He's got a heavy look here. Running weak side, taking on the linebacker. It's a first down for Etienne. A little bit more early running in this game than in a few of their more recent games. At the 31, play action going off of it. Looking downfield just by the diving Addison. And Kenny Moore will look to talk his talk there with a bad throw, not necessarily good coverage. 2nd and 10, hard count, nobody jumps. Polk, he's under pressure around the edge. Latu with not a sack, as he does get back to the line. And that does keep the Jaguars backed up here. 3rd and 10 at the 31. They go 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Hard count, early movement. DeForest Buckner will move us 5 yards closer. So that bark from Polk coming in handy here today. They change up the look now, just needing 5. Tried the hard count again this time. No one gives. Polk, he's going to look to take this with his legs. Bouncing to the outside before finally tracked down to the 10. Goes number 10. And if you want a little bit more, 1st and 10. Though this one actually is true 1st and 10, mere millimeters before the goal line, which they could get a fresh set of downs. Throwing, it's going to be to Sexton, who tried to slow up. Justin Simmons with a good tackle brings him down at the 2. And we will be relying on Sexton today at tight end. It looks like, for the most part, it's the end of the day for Dawson Knox. Power weak side, cutting back, but not finding the end zone. 3rd and inches. If they get a couple millimeters, they do have 4 more downs to try to get, but it's the goal line set. And it will be a touchdown for Jeff Polk. Rolling over the center, crossing that goal line. We've tied this game back up here 14-14 in the second quarter. Now we just need the defense to respond and slow down Michael Pittman Jr. We haven't seen much from him in any other game this year. It's been their tight ends putting in work. Taylor here staying limited with the quick stop, though it does look like there is an injury to one of their tight ends in Woods on the play. He'll make his way to the sideline, bringing up a 2nd and 9. They're at the 28. The bunch left-hand side. We're going to go back to the air, and it will be a first down, finally finding their tight end. It is Everett. who had a dominant showing in that previous matchup in the high-scoring affair. At that point, he was leading the Colts in receiving and receiving yards. Going back to Pittman here on the inside break, he finds nothing but space. Right now, the defensive line is not getting much pressure with Hines Allen out of this game. It's 1st and 10 at the 36. They look to hand it off down the middle. Taylor with his best run of the day. He picks up 4. Colts, they're down to the 32 with a ace-type set. Getting the pressure, but again, Walker is not getting the sack. Richardson breaks it. He breaks another 2, 3 tackles. Ball, though, pops out. Diving on top of it is Yancey. The Colts fumbled earlier in this game. It was called back. Can they find themselves lucky one more time here? Or do the Jaguars force that turnover? Taking another look here, it looks like that might be Colts ball. And once again, the refs do agree. 1st and goal down to the 2. They hand it off to Taylor, Ellis, and Devin Lloyd there to get the stop, no gain. Jaguars trying to stand tall here at the goal line. Fullback dive. And it will be for the lead. Give the fullback some love. Dennis Otto gives Indy the lead yet again. I don't know what it is about divisional rivalries that this team just doesn't know how to handle, but we hit the field here at the 33 with about 2.5 minutes to go in the half. We got to tie this game. Look to take a lead in the second half. And chucking this one, Baker catches up to it down to the 32. Rolling weak side, Jeff Polk, are you kidding me? This guy, he's a completely new quarterback. He's got his X factor going here as well. As Travis takes the handoff, he picks up about 5 or 6, but there is yellow down, and it will be coming back. Crowd not pleased with that call. It will be on Antone Harrison, something again we are pretty used to. 1st and now 17, and never mind, it'll be the 2-minute warning here. Jaguars trying to overcome another penalty. And down 7 points here, 21-14. They're at the 39 now. Same look as they had pre-break, as Polk just gets rid of that one before he gets crunched. Ball safely does hit the turf, though 2nd and 17. They need a decent chunk here. As they look to the outside, held on to Gabe Davis. We'll make it 3rd and 4 and hurry up here from the Jaguars offense. With 2 to the left, 1 to the right. They'll look to get the screen off, but it's blown up and a timeout is called by the Colts. DeForest Buckner is there yet again. But with 1.5 minutes, we'll see a drive not end in either a turnover or a touchdown, as this will be a field goal down the middle. For the Colts, this could be a crucial drive, as it will be Jaguars starting with ball after half. They're currently up by 4. If they could find a touchdown, they could go up 2 scores, really putting the Jacksonville Jaguars in a hole. And wide open again is Pittman Jr. Every game against these guys, we leave someone wide open. Last time it was the tight end. This time it seems to be Pittman, as we do take away their screen. Leaves 2nd and 10 here. 49 seconds left to go in the half. They look to go right back to it, and we once again break it up. Both teams ran the same plays. So 3rd and 10. They're at the 41 here. Do they look to air it out, or do they just run it? They do look to pass here. With plenty of time, Richardson will scramble, not getting the first down. Jaguars finally bring him down and call a timeout of their own. With 2 more in their back pocket, they will have 34 seconds to try to find another score here, starting back at the 14. Once again, it's a tight look for them. A little bit of some bump, but they're going to find Sexton here, who will turn up, get the first down, and they're going to look to go hurry up right away, or waste time and then call a timeout. Definite mismanagement of the clock there does cost them about 10 some odd seconds. They're at the 28. They need the opposite, about 40 something, for a field goal attempt. As rolling to the right here, under pressure, that ball's going to come up well short, leaving them 3 seconds and a Hail Mary attempt. At the 28, they come out with a spread look. Play clock down to 2. This will be it for the half. As he lets it rip, Addison had a step, but not enough time to get that ball out cleanly. But a penalty is down. It's holding, so they could go ahead and decline. Was hoping that would be DPI. We'd have a spare play. Not the case. We send this one to halftime. Once again, a good back and forth here. Colts defense has the slight advantage, forcing that field goal, 21-17 at the break. The other game going on right now is the Dolphins and the Ravens for the AFC side. Both teams did well in the regular season. We took down the Ravens to claim that #1 seed. But now we got to get things going here in the second half. But it'll be the offense out first as we get the second half underway. Colbert with a gap. He's going to hit through it, tackled down around the 50. But terrific starting spot here for the offense as they will officially mark Colbert down at the 49. A big play to start our second half. With a single high safety, Polk, he might see something here off coverage downfield. And not enough time to throw. But whatever it was that he saw, Colts, they responded to it. Dawson Knox, though, is back in for the Jaguars. As this time, ETN, he gets swallowed up despite not being even on the side of the defense. He was still behind his offensive line. One heck of a tackle, forces 3rd and 11. Hard count, no one jumps. Polk under pressure. He gets that one out to Dawson Knox. It's a first down for the Jaguars. And they're going to go hurry up off of it. Colts, they're walking everyone down but the safety. They get the screen out this time. ETN in space. He will break the tackle and tack on a few more. Hard-earned what was supposed to be a juke turned more into a stiff arm. You won't see anyone on this side of the ball at least complaining about that. Jaguars down inside the red zone with 2 to the left. No one spread to the right. Throwing, though, to the left, they've got Sexton close to the first down. He's out at the 11. Jaguars trying to find their first lead here of the game. With a 2nd and 1, they go weak side, ducking under the block of Okwonu down to the 5. Travis Etienne. It will be split backfield this time for the Jags. They don't run too much split back. Etienne, though, he's going to look to bounce this one. He gains about a yard, maybe yard and a half. We see another flag down, a 3rd holding call today for the Jaguars. This time they get Jack Conklin. 1st and goal at the 15, though, will be a free play. Throwing outside, Gabe Davis has his 2nd touchdown of the game. We can decline the early jump from Kwity Paye and go ahead in the 3rd quarter. That is exactly what we needed from the offense to start this second half. We go down, we get the lead. Now as the Colts offense hits the field for the first time this second half, we need the defense to step up. And it looks like they've already made a change. Campbell now over on the left-hand side as they still find Pittman Jr. He has been the trouble spot for this defense today. Looks like they're trying to put their best corner on him. 2nd and 2. Pressure again, but still not getting the sack. Does get enough to force a errant ball. That forces a 3rd and 2. Defense will stay in the double A gap look. Richardson is making some changes back there as they will look to throw it. Jarring that one free. Pittman Jr. heard the footsteps of Campbell. He drops it. And that should be a punt forced. That's almost as perfect of a second half opening as you could ask for. Jaguars take the field at the 25 with the lead and the ball. Etienne runs it straight into Franklin, the linebacker. He picks up 2. 4.8, an average for him on the day. But a 2nd and 8. Going back to the split, though, both running backs back there as they will look to throw the ball, or Polk will look to step up here. He slides down in front of another linebacker, leaving 3 for 3rd down. For the Colts, they could use this stop. We could use with keeping this drive going. Bunch look to the left-hand side as we will look to throw to the flat. We've got Jordan Addison with the first down despite being picked up and slammed down by Simmons. But it does kind of seem like the Jags have slowed their game down a little bit here. Still picking up some decent chunks. And another flag down. This one might be on the left guard, Aquanu. Or actually, we're getting indications it was from the opposite side of the line, Luke Bacon. So 1st and 19 here. Polk is making a change. Back of the 28. Hard count. A little movement, though no one fully jumps. Throwing to Sexton. He'll pick up about 5. That'll put Polk over 200 yards throwing today. But we still need at least 14 more here to continue this drive. 2 go to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. Rolling, he's got his guy at the sideline. Gabe Davis down to the 30. We knew we needed him to step up with the injury to Brian Thomas Jr., and he's doing so today. And Jeff Polk making some great throws under duress. Now he's just got to find somewhere to go here. Throwing that one away. No one seemed to be in the area. Definitely inside the tackle box. I guess we'll use whatever luck we had there on not getting a penalty. 2nd and 10 then at the 29. Indy bring the blitz. ETN ricocheting around for no gain. So 3rd and 10 it'll be at the 29 here as we're inside a minute left in the 3rd. Tight coverage over on the right-hand side, but safety's backed off. As Gabe Davis has a nice little gap, though he will not hold on. It's through his hands. St. Juice the closest offender, but really that one is just on Gabe Davis. And once again, Jaguars will have to settle on a field goal attempt here. Cam Little. And he will get that one in between the uprights. Jaguars with a touchdown lead, but they were really hoping for a 10-point lead. Colts will take over. With that stop from their defense, a touchdown could tie this game. They start at the 27. Looking to get Jonathan Taylor going, but he's been denied all day long. But honestly, even with that, Colts offense has still found a lot of success passing the ball today. I'm sure they'll look to go back to that as there's a flag down. There didn't seem to be a hard count made. Perhaps a call there from Richardson sounded like a count, and Mason Smith jumps off sides. Just an absolute bonehead of a play. It stops the clock as well, leaving 7 seconds here in the quarter. But Ringo comes down to make the stop. Maybe a gain of 1, as this will be the break. 4th quarter ahead, do or die for both teams. Jaguars, they're not even on top by a full touchdown, 27-21. That touchdown and the extra point would give the Colts the lead as the 4th quarter begins. 8 minutes left here for one of these teams in their season. Richardson, he's rolling outside. Devin Lloyd can't bring him down. The stiff arm for the first down. One of the few times a defender on this team doesn't try to chop out a player. Could have used it there. As they go to Taylor, Devin Lloyd makes the stop this time. As Oluwakin appears to be a bit banged up down there, might be a hip problem. He'll make his way to the bench. We might need to let our camera guy out there know that his camera is not in focus. Soft focus at best. 2nd and 14. They go back to Taylor. This time it opens up and he's got the first down, attacking the double A gap of the defense. Just always kind of seems to be one step forward, one step back for this group in these rivalry games. Looking to throw the ball here, and a little too high for anyone. But honestly, that's probably a good thing, as Hall did a great job of dropping back. Oluwakin checking back in here, though, 2nd and 10. As again, no pass rush. They find their target outside in Mitchell to the 33. Another fresh set here for the Colts. And they've been throwing the ball a little bit more downfield today, attacking that mid-range of the defense. Yancey's now coming in here to play a little bit of some linebacker as they throw underneath Jelani Woods with a catch for 3. And it's 3 that the Jaguars defense is trying to hold the Colts to as they're at the 30. 2nd and 7. And Pittman holds on to that through some potentially early contact. Looked like Campbell just bounced off of him. But he's got Indy down inside the 10. It's goal to go at the 9. Bunch right-hand side as they'll look to air the ball out again. Foye Oluwakin drops the potential big play interception. Don't want to say game sealing at this point, but 2nd and goal. They go to the running game. Mason Smith slows him down, though still a good gain for Taylor. But ultimately, it's coming down to a 3rd and goal here. They're at the 4. Bunch right-hand side and left wide open. Downs gets the touchdown. Extra point would be for the lead. Just some disappointing play coming from the Jaguars defense today. But it's 1st and 10 offense. They need to respond with at least a field goal. They've got just under 5 minutes to go. As they do start looking to pass this ball, Polk, he will scramble sliding down in front of Franklin for 6. And kind of as predicted with what Coach Boston is known for, he's already starting to chew the clock here. He wants to take control of this game. Travis Etienne with a gain of 3, leaving 3rd and 1. They will need a good push up front if they will look to run here. Colts, they've got some big boys. They bring in the fullback, and they crunch down on him, but 1st down given for the Jags. Just enough done up front there for Jacksonville as they look to go play action here. Throwing towards the sideline, and catching up to it is Sexton. Out at the 42, and DeForest Buckner is a bit banged up. He will also make his way to the sideline here. Potentially a shoulder problem. With the Jags set on running some clock here, I'm sure they're looking to just run the ball as well. And with Buckner out, that could be a huge miss. Etienne, left-hand side, he picks up 6. Already we're closing into that 2-minute mark here. We'll probably have one more play before then. Thrown across the middle and finding Sexton again. He's got the 1st down. 2-minute warning arrives, and DeForest Buckner has not made his way back out onto that field. Though it looks like Polk is taking a look at something here. Down at the 29, 2 tight ends to the right. They will go with play action. Throwing to the left. Sexton with another grab. He's down to the 7. A couple big grabs for tight end 2 here this year. Of course, they wasn't sure with his injuries. He stayed mostly healthy this year. And he might have a really big award waiting for him if the Jacksonville Jaguars can get through this game. Travis Etienne, though, left side, only picks up a small amount. Still over a minute to go here, so they are letting that play clock roll with a 2nd and goal. Snapping with 1 minute left. Spin move is not going to work. Franklin holds him up. Colts calling a timeout here. If you're Jacksonville, you're feeling like you got to get the touchdown at this point. 3rd and goal, they're at the 4. 2 line up, tight right-hand side, 2 spread out to the left. Hard count. We might move ourselves a couple yards closer here, half the distance. And with that, it looks like they will flip the formation, but besides that, it looks to be the same look here for Jacksonville. Polk snaps that ball. They need a touchdown. He's rolling. He's throwing. And it's a touchdown for Javon Baker. With 1:04 left in this one, Jacksonville gets the touchdown. And at this point, you might as well try to go for 2 for insurance sake. But what a play. Barely getting that ball inside before he steps through the pylon. Up by 5, looking to make that 7 here. 1:04 remaining in the game. Hard count, and that's great, but it's not going to move us any closer here on a 2-point try. More so just trying to get a extra play in case something doesn't happen to go right. But still at the 2 here. Hard count again, and it will be that free play. Rolling and throwing. It's picked off. It's a good thing that there is a free play here for Jacksonville. That ball just came out a smidgen late. And because of that, it was picked off. So for the 3rd attempt here, 3 tight ends line up to the right, 1 in motion. Colts change up their defense to match. Need to find the 2-point try, and it's Dawson Knox for a 7-point lead here. A minute, 4 seconds to go in the divisional round. Talk about close rivalry matchups. We have another. With a minute, 2 timeouts, Richardson and the Colts, they need a touchdown to respond. And nearly throwing the pick to Oluwakin that would have been the nail in the coffin. He just blanketed Everett across the middle, and he was a big threat for him in that last game. It's been Pittman Jr. today. Good blocking as they go outside. Quick tackle, but they do find 5 to Pittman. We'll go hurry up. 3rd and 5, 4-down territory from here on out. And it's off the shoulder of Everett there. Neither him or Devin Lloyd knew that ball was thrown. And the game will come down to this. 4th and 5, 35 seconds remaining. Jaguars bring the blitz, but it's caught stepping out of bounds, Mitchell, just by midfield. The Jaguars have tried to get pressure all game long. It has not worked. They gambled there, not going to pay off. Though this time it will. Ellis drops Richardson on the other side of the 50. A timeout is called by Indy. That leaves them 1 more remaining. And it's 2nd and 17. At the opposite 47. 4-man rush. Nearly jumped by Campbell. Pittman, he steps out. They get back to the other 47. Once again, nearly an interception to end this game. 3rd and 10, 21 seconds left on the clock. Walker meets the roll, and that ball is too high. 4th and game yet again. They found Mitchell last time. Who do they look to go to this time? At the 47. Play action, and Ringo gets the sack. That is your ball game. They brought the blitz one more time, and it hits pay dirt. All we have to do is come out here and kneel this clock away and end the Colts season. 35-28 is your finale in the divisional round. Colts once again played a great game on offense. Their defense made a lot of big plays as well. There is not much bad to be said about this Indianapolis team. They had a rough start to the year. They bounced back. They made it into the playoffs. They took out the Kansas City Chiefs in the wild card. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite slow down our offense like our defense couldn't slow down theirs. We got that late possession. We chewed that clock, and we're walking out of here with a dub. And with that win, you guys make sure this video gets 50 likes in the first 24 hours, and we'll be back again tomorrow as we have the Miami Dolphins, who just took down the Ravens. And it seems like every single one of these games have been close games. This is a truly good playoffs happening right now. Let's go through the scores. In the wild card, Ravens beat the Bengals 23-20. Dolphins beat the Raiders 30-24. Talked about the Colts beating the Chiefs. That's behind my head, 35-30. We obviously then just beat the Colts by the widest margin yet over on the AFC, 35-28, 22-21. The Dolphins pick up the win, and it was with a 2-point try in the 4th quarter by the Dolphins. And as for the NFC, it's also close games happening over there. Wild card round, Green Bay beat the Commanders 33-27. Eagles beat the Panthers 24-16, the most lopsided win so far in the playoffs. 21-14, Seahawks beat the Saints, then lost to the Packers in the divisional round 31-28. Cowboys took down the Eagles 24-21. So you got 1 versus 2 in the NFC Conference Championship, and you got the 1 versus 3 over in the AFC. But what you will not have for the rest of the season is Josh Hines Allen. Unfortunately, he had an abdominal tear in this game. He will not be back from the Super Bowl. I wish there was a way to have him come back for such a big game. Strap up that shoulder / torso as much as you can and let him go as much as he can. That's just not going to be the case. So what will be the case then? Well, Since we had that dilemma at the start, we saw a little bit of Griffey, we saw a little bit of Alford. Both were in there making some plays, but we didn't see dramatic play. I want to see what this defense looks like with both of them on the field as often as possible. So what we are going to do is a trial for next season. Whenever we go to the nickel or dime, it'll be Mason Smith and Alford down the middle. Walker will remain on the outside. And then we're going to have Rakeem Griffey go and play that edge rush instead of Ellis. He's just not that involved in stopping the run. He's got some good pass pro skills, but that's about it. So we're going to get Rakeem Griffey out there a little bit more. Similar overall between the two, and I do really like Griffey. And depending on things that may or may not happen in this next offseason, with Hines Allen set to still have a $100 million contract towards the tail end of it, and Walker about to step into a $100 million contract, perhaps only one of them is going to stick around. But we will find that out whenever this season comes to an end. The good news for you is it is not today. If you want this next game out tomorrow, hit that like button, share it to a friend, make sure they're hitting that like button, and also make sure you're hitting that bear icon in the bottom right, or scrolling down, hitting that sub button and tapping that bell icon so you're notified when these videos go live. If we do not get the 50 like goal, I plan on the next episode being out on Saturday. I don't want to wait around a whole week in between these games. I want to see Miami soon. How soon? That's dependent on you. Also, coming this week, tomorrow, we will still have, no matter what happens with the light goal, our Road to the Show with Cha-Cha Vaz. On Friday, with the Stanford Cardinal, we round out the regular season of season 8, I believe it is at this point. With that, we are trying to have the perfect regular season, a rivalry against Notre Dame. We win that, we should be well on our way to our third straight Pac-12 championship and into the college football playoffs. Do not miss it over there. Do not miss it back here. And hopefully we see you tomorrow as we take on the Miami Dolphins in the AFC Championship.